Criticism is it's important. I always like to be around people who tell me the truth and tell me what's wrong. Like when I played, I used to always go to the older guys and ask them, what do you see out there? I'm not looking at them to tell me what I'm doing good. I want to know everything I'm doing wrong. People get caught up in what somebody tells them that they do wrong, that they end up not getting better. You can't get better if you don't have people telling you truth about what's wrong with anything that you're doing. So I remember when I was in 8th grade going to 9th, somebody told me, you can't go left. I'm like, at first I was like, dang, I can't go left. I got mad. I was like, what? I can't go left. And then I played against a team that forced me left all day and I couldn't get a bucket. I was like, you know what? Let me look at this a little different. Working on my left. Next thing you know, I'm able to go left. The next thing you know, I go back. What do you see? You can't shoot. Carl can't shoot. All right, worked on that. Got that. What am I missing? You don't got a pull-up game. Add that to the game. What do you see? People are laying off you. You can't shoot the three. Start adding that. Every time somebody criticized me on anything, I didn't take it to heart. I looked at it as a way to improve. So with anything you do, people who criticize you is actually helping you. You got people who hate on you, but you could tell on that one. People who hate on you I don't know. People who hate, they just saying stuff just to say stuff. People who actually care, they're going to critique and tell you what's real. That's why I always tell people, have people around you, surround yourself with people who tell you the truth. That's why I'm always going to be a person who always tell people the truth. Always. I'm always tell my young kids the truth. My kids, I'm always telling the truth. I don't like lying because once somebody catch you in a lie and you just it's over. Your credibility is all gone. I'd rather just tell the truth. And criticism helps. It is not a form of someone hating on you or don't like you or whatever. Sure, I had coaches who used to, like, even the delivery. Sure, I know in my household, my pops used to yell at you, yo. Like, you used to really get yelled at. If I forgot the garbage, if I forgot anything, I used to get yelled at. Like, I used to get yelled at. My pop's a big dude. I used to have a saying, there's only two people I'm scared of. That's God and my father. That's it. Like, nah. But he used to yell at, he used to get on you. But at the same time, I had to learn to listen to what he said and not how he's saying it. A lot of people worried about how somebody's delivering it. Sometimes it's just all about what the person said. So having a coach on my back playing basketball, being a point guard is like important, because me being able to go through that situation with my pops and my pops getting on my back about everything, when it was time for me to play, a coach could curse me out, yell at me, but I'm listening to what he's saying. I had people that couldn't play, possibly could have been better than me, but they couldn't get on the floor because they too busy mad at the coach. They ended up quitting the team because the coach is talking to them a certain way. It wasn't being disrespectful. It was just they was yelling at him. He's yelling at me. I'm like, yeah, but are you hearing what he's saying? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? I remember one of the best things somebody told me growing up when my development was, I think it was 10th grade. I was up in the Bronx playing up at Gaucho's gym in practice, and I was running on the wing, and I was getting buckets. I was like catching that joint on the wing, jabbing, pull up jump shots, catching shoot threes. I was getting buckets, and the guy who was running the practice, the guy named Julius, he looked at me after I hit a kid with I think I caught the ball, jabbed the kid, one hard dribble left, step back, three in his face, and he stopped me and said, "Carl, what the F you doing?" I looked at him like, what? What are you talking about? I'm playing basketball, I'm getting a bucket. He said, how tall are you? At the time I was like 5'5". I was like 5'5". He said, I don't care about any of that, because I was able to dunk and stuff too. I don't care about none of that jumping, dunking, you being faster than everybody, all of that. There's only one position you're going to ever play on the court, and that's a point guard. And he ain't say it that nice. He was yelling at me. I mean, like, he was on my back. Crazy thing was, the person who was bringing the ball up was very capable of bringing the ball up. He was a point guard. Kid named Jesse Sapp. Kid had a handle, do everything. Son was nice. Like, he was really a bucket. Son was tough. He ended up playing point guard at Georgetown. But what he was telling me was, I'm not the same. I'm 5'5", so I ain't grow that much more. I'm like 5'6.5" now. I'm still short, but it didn't matter how fast or how high I jumped. I was only gonna play one position. Shoot, that's not even all he said. He said, look, I don't care where you play, you gonna come off the bench. That's what he told me. This is in this game, guys who are your height are spark plugs. You're guys who come off the bench, bring energy to the floor, pressure on defense, and do what's necessary to change the game. Guys your height are not starters. He said that to me. And he told me, my pops was on the side, he said, if I see you run the wing and not bring the ball up the court again, I'm going to send you home with your effing pops. Right now. Everybody was just looking. But you know what? I didn't get upset. I listened to what he said. I went home that night and I was like, you know what? He's right. Right after that, I learned to become the best point guard I could possibly be. I never ran the wing again. And that changed everything for me. Hood tournaments, I get my 30-something, 40 points. I run the wing, you know what I mean? That's when you playing, against guys who don't really play, kids that think they can play. When you're playing high level or you playing anything, I'm a point guard. Still to this day, that's what I do. I'm a point guard, I run the show. That was probably the best criticism, if top 3 as in criticism I ever got in my whole life. That changed everything. Some people might not even look at it like that, but that's what happened. So criticism is very important. If you have people around here telling you comfortable lies just to keep you happy, they're doing you a disservice. Y'all parents telling y'all kids that they the best thing in the world and they not. There's a whole planet out here. You know they not. You doing them a disservice. Keep it real. Nothing wrong with criticism. It's different when it's hating, but when you telling them the truth ain't hurting nobody. Just get it up out the way and let them know. Especially when they're young, because ain't nothing worse than when you get older and then you find out something that happened that you wish they should have been told you about.